Hello everyone. Today I have with me Dr. Pranjali Kane, who is an associate professor at Department of English at Sri Vindhani City College in Nagpur. Ma'am has a total 12 years of experience in teaching at undergraduate level and 6 years of teaching postgraduate level. Currently, ma'am is handling the academic portfolio of IQAC coordinator since last few months now. She also is a member of board of studies at of English department at Rashtrasan Tukaroji Maharaj Nagpur University. A warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Harsh. Thank you for having me over here as a representative of my college. Thank you so much. Please.
Ma'am, you have been in the education sector for last 20 years now. So, what do you think are the factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
It's teaching first and teaching last, I would say. Last 1.5 years has been quite trying for all of us, but then, as everyone, all colleagues of mine will agree with me that we have adapted to that also, and somehow we have got in touch with our students. So, the young generation that is there to mold them, to be there with them in their formative years is what actually propels me in this direction. Because teaching is what nowadays it's everything is available online. If they take a text and they put it on Google, they get answers to everything. Okay. But what actually is the should be the learning process, how you should facilitate this learning is what the teachers are here for. And I think no technology can replace the teachers in this respect. Only a kind of the summary of a text, or maybe a definition of a particular, or a theorem maybe for the science people. But how do you apply all these things and to make it more relevant? The teachers are the best, what should I say, the mediators, and mentors also. So that's why I think NAC has also put a lot of emphasis on mentorship, because otherwise it will become really difficult. There is knowledge of how to make an aircraft, and there is knowledge how to commit suicide, everything available on internet. So what to go and how to go about it is what, the wisdom is something that the teachers will impart to the students. So this is something I really love about being in this profession, and I think for the rest of my life I'm going to be a teacher first and last.
Ma'am, also I think like you get to channelize the energy, the young energy that people speak of. You get to channelize that young energy into a particular direction. So that is what I can feel from your answer.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And you just talk to them in a proper way, they will listen to you. I mean, everybody has got this idea that 18 plus students will never listen to anyone because their parents face the same thing. I have issues at my place also, perhaps. But when a teacher says something, the students are willing to do so much for the college, for themselves, for society. You call them for something and they are ready. So that energy and that willingness and that curiosity to know more, that is something I really love.
Very nice to hear that, ma'am. Very
Thank
nice
you.
to hear. So, ma'am, coming to my next question, how is the college handling the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yes, it was a bad beginning for all of us when March 2020 set in the lockdown, something which was unprecedented, something which we had never heard. It was only in history, 100 years back, we had such a plague and such things were happening. And, modern technology is so great, the 1.5 years, and we have vaccinations and all. So, what our college did was, Shri Binzani City Colleges, let me just tell you about my college. My college has been one of the oldest institutions of Nagpur city. It is run under the aegis of Nagpur Shikshan Mandal. And when this pandemic actually set in, the initial few days, naturally, everybody was at a loss to understand how far this is going to stay. But then the next semester also, and when the instructions came, the first thing that was done on regular basis during the admission process, after that also, whenever, I mean, we have been continuously coming to college. But fortunately, we were not affected by the pandemic, because I think sanitation was one thing which was very regularly done in the college throughout, right from the gate till the last room which was there. Even if it was not used, we used to get it sanitized. Then your sanitizers were kept at vantage positions, and then all the precautionary measures. I mean, two or three bhaiyas were constantly under this, they were looking after this. Any child coming inside, or maybe any teacher or any other person also coming inside the campus, was always reminded to have the masks on, and all those precautions were definitely taken. The second thing was the teaching learning process. So we geared up, and it was under the able leadership of our principal sir. that we created Google Classrooms. Okay, and on Zoom, whatever recordings were there, we started putting it in our Google Classroom. So it was an asynchronous kind of learning for the students also. So even now we have all our lessons intact. So if they like want to revise it just before their examination, maybe at night time, maybe on a Sunday, because the people coming to us belong to a low startup society also, so we had to cater to them. Many a times mobiles were not there, many a times the range was not there, the net pack was not there. Classes are what, 50 minutes duration, and we have 6 to 7 classes, so it's not possible for them to attend every class. So in that case, we have our Google Classrooms ready. We continued that this year also, and we find it very convenient because all the assessments are also done there and all the data is also stored there. So you don't have to keep it, go on looking at kahan rakha hai maine, kind of a thing. So it's organized, and students are getting used to it. And those parents, those who had issues with mobile units, because having 2 children, 3 children at home and having only one device, even those parents are satisfied now. So this is the feedback also that we got from them, because we believe in taking regular kinds of feedbacks from the students, from the teachers, from the parents, the alumni, the employers. All this is thanks to NAC. It has been a kind of a formalized process at our end. So we got to know that they are also now into this. I mean, everybody is very comfortable with this online mode.
And also, like, parents are more into like helping their wards out, and like knowing about how this situation would have an impact on them. Even parents are coming front to help their wards out along with the faculty. So it is
Right.
now kind of very much helpful for the students
Right.
to get a proper feedback for what they are doing.
Absolutely.
Ma'am, coming to my next question, could you give us some insights about the placements at the institutes for the past few years?
Yes, placements, training followed by placement. If we look into this, we have had a few MOUs signed since a few years' time. And as you rightly pointed out when we were talking about it, are they only MOUs on the pages, or things are really happening? So we have had an MOU with Bajaj Finserv. We also have an MOU with America India Foundation. We have MOU with the Roots Foundation Academy also. Then we have, we are into signing an MOU with the ICICI Academy for Skills Development, because I'm very happy to state over here that the first batch is graduating. It will graduate very soon. There was a training of 54 days, and followed by, for the office administration students, that was for girls, and the logistics wala batch for the boys. So they have successfully completed. I mean, nearly, I think 60 to 70 students had enrolled, and very soon we'll get the data also. And we had a call from them that we'll have an MOU kind of a thing, so that our students will be a regular part of this thing which ICICI provides for all the students. Apart from that, we have had academic MOUs with other colleges. We have Mahila Mahavidyalaya, we have CPI at Virar, we have Datta Mege Institute of Business Management, and all these, there is one more college from Umred. So we could reach out to them also, and whatever, I mean, if we had an add-on course, so we involved their students into it. So kind of a student exchange, faculty exchange. So through these MOUs, and it becomes very easy, you just share the link nowadays, and those students can also avail. Or at the least, what we can do is we can send our recordings also, which are nowadays easily available via Zoom and all those things. And so we send these recordings to, and at the same time some feedback forms, so that some assessment is also done. So it's not only a kind of yes, if they are coming and they're, it's not only just like that we are doing it. We also have got proofs of this. Okay, so such kinds of MOU are happening, and training followed by placements also are happening. So we are very fortunate having a good response from students also, and slowly, students are getting aware of this fact that instead of going in for a maybe a salesman, or a kind of what these people are doing in the pandemic is, because things were very bad at some of their places. So they were doing some kind of jobs which were actually not worth doing, I would put it this way. But then it was a stopgap arrangement for them. So now when these academies have all reached out to us, and we have been linked to, the academy is getting in touch with our final year students. They are more than happy because they get what the beginning is done by all the illustrious
The
institutes.
pre-placement talks.
Placements are also done, and the first experience that they get is of value. Okay. Certified, they get certifications at the end of it. So it's all a very nice process which has started since an year or so, and we are into it. Yes, I look forward to more students getting placed.
Definitely, ma'am. We would wish more students from SBCC are getting, those who are coming from different backgrounds of life. They are getting placed into good industries, and they are getting to learn something which would help our nation to build in the long run. Ma'am, coming to my next question, what would you like people to know about your institute that they may already do not know?
Many of them do know about our institute. As I told you, it's the 91st year of my college. And at one point of time, it was more, the nationalistic fervor was there in the college and all, and we continue that legacy. So we also have very good sports department, which is known outside Nagpur city also. So we have many national, international players. And what the department is doing is that it is having regular kinds of all kinds of tournaments which are conducted at the same time for our students and the neighborhood community students. We have got winter vacation camps and summer vacation camps which go on regularly. Last 1.5 years, yes, the department couldn't do anything because we had orders. Everybody had orders, and kind of sports did suffer a bit, I would say. But then we have picked up now. So recently we have had this winter vacation camp during the Diwali vacation, and even now it is going on. At the same time, we have got an ED cell. So this was what last year we started this. It's called Aidanji Binzani Center for Developing Entrepreneurship. And through this, we have many things which are going on. And one of them was that we wanted to give a platform to our students, for marketing purposes. And how do you go about, if you want to start your own business, and also how do you actually market all those things. So to give them an experience, we had a small scale exhibition kind of a thing for our students in the institute, where less number of people would be involved. The teachers were involved before Diwali. So whatever we wanted to buy, all the goodies for Diwali, we could buy all those things, the homemade products and the beauty products and the diyas and the rangolis and all those things, the dresses and all those things. So all these things are done by the ED cell. Along with this, they usually have the interviews of successful entrepreneurs, those who have just started or maybe into it 10 years into it, and how to start a new business, what are the requirements and all those things. These interviews are also circulated in the WhatsApp group of the students. So the ED cell is also doing good. Then my college is also doing many add-on courses, the value-added courses. There are workshops on health, nutrition, yoga. All these things are happening. So many things are happening at the same time. It's a simultaneous process, okay? And we have got a very wonderful mentor-mentee program also. Initially, it was called Srujan by us. We had named it Srujan, where all the class mentors used to interact with the students on regular basis. But last year, we took it one step ahead. And we, as I told you, we signed an MOU with the Roots Foundation, and the Department of Psychology came ahead and it started a pre-marital counseling center, which is called as Umbartha now. So, we have got a lot many girl students in our college, and along with studies, what we saw in the in last 5 to 10 years, there were some attitudinal changes in the students also, which every teacher will agree that initially it was every student was very obedient. Now they always will ask us questions, and questions in the sense they'll always have a maybe some kind of growing up. While they're growing up, there are certain maladjustments somewhere or wrong ideas also sometimes. And their next step is going to be their marriages, their weddings, which take place. And sometimes, students enter into the third year and they get married. So are we doing something to train our students, the girls especially, because they have got a specific role to play in society, in their houses? So are we actually grooming them in that direction? Are they facing any kind of physiological challenges? Are they facing any mental traumas? There can be, many a times they don't speak up, they don't tell their parents. So we are reaching out to them. So that department is also doing wonderfully well, and we hope that we handhold the students and take them to that next step, whatever their step is. It's for boys also, because they also have got an important role to play in families, and they should understand they have got sisters. Tomorrow their wife will come their place, and they have to understand the whole the differences which might crop up, and how to deal with those differences.
The
So
responsibilities,
yes,
the
absolutely, absolutely. So all these things are happening. The research center is doing well in our college. We are organizing on regular basis. There are research methodology workshops, IPR workshops, the ED workshops which are happening. So I think my college is really doing well in all these things.
Ma'am, I think these are one of the few initiatives that we were expecting the colleges to start with, and coming from like, since you have the students from a different background, then starting these courses will benefit girls as well as boys to a large extent. The premarital thing that you spoke of, I think it would be of great help to the students, because they would get to know about the different perspectives that you need to have before being like married and after being married. So I think it is a great initiative.
Thank you so
Uh,
much.
Ma'am, coming to my next question, what do you think will be some of the biggest challenges that we will be having in higher education in general, and specifically for Sri Bindani City College?
Higher education, if higher education is going in the direction it is going right now, I think one of the challenges will be something that, online, everything, if it is happening online, perhaps that connect, the student teacher connect, or the peer learning which the students are doing, I think this can be one of the problems. I'll give you a small example what I'm talking about. We have started an SQSE also, that's Student Quality Assurance Cell, and we wanted students to elect the other students, somebody campaigning, somebody wanting to be the president, somebody wanting to be the secretary and all. Last since 2 years it was all online, so the students didn't meet the other students, so they don't know who is capable and who is what. I mean, otherwise, 5 years back or maybe 3 years back, things were different. I would put it this way: when the semester pattern has actually come about, we are getting a little less time for the peer interaction, the interactions between the teachers and the students also, because somewhere, we have to have this examination, which earlier it was 3 examinations, now it's 6 examinations. So the whole process of internal assessment and the actual examinations, and if we have to take it, then we have to prepare all the question papers and the assessment, and all those things have to be uploaded. All that is somehow making us, or alienating us from the actual thing that we are doing. This is what I feel as a teacher. Initially, students 5 years back, those students are still in touch with me. Okay, and now if we see 3 years back, 2 years back, or last year students, somehow they are not getting connected with us. And this connection is the most important thing. As I told you, information is available on internet 24/7 into 365. So that's not the problem. It's not like a topic is given and it's coming from outside. No, everything is available, but you need a teacher again. And that connect, if we fail to establish with the students, that will be very hazardous, because the students are into such an age now that many of them are not actually listening to their parents. They are not obeying, but they obey the teachers. And if we lose this precious connection, then that might be a problem. At Sri Binzani, if I have to talk about the challenges, what we are facing is, because as I told you, there is a certain section of students coming to us, and a majority of that section, they belong to the poor strata of society, and many of them come to us with this: we don't have a mobile, and we don't have this and that, and they are not even in a position to come to us, or in an offline way, because they are working someplace, because maybe their parents have lost the source of livelihood and all those things. So this is slightly a challenge which we are thinking how to overcome. As I told you, we do have asynchronous learning, but we are now thinking about having a kind of a maybe a skills development center or something of that sort, where the students will be able to earn and learn at the same time. I think this is how we'll be able to pull our students back to the college. But then, as of now, I see it as a slight, we are yet to start that. Maybe in a year or so, we'll do that too. But as of now, that is one of the challenges.
Also, ma'am, do you think going forward we will be seeing more students into like vocational courses are started by the institutes so that students can get the skill sets that are required for a particular job, like be it a 6 month course or be it like an about a year course. They can do that course and they can they can go to some field and they can get a job and they can earn a livelihood. And then after a few years of experience, and then they can get to know about what is going on in the industry, what happens actually in the ground, and then they can decide what are the courses or the undergraduate program that they should be doing. So do we see that coming in
Yes.
the coming few years?
Yes, yes, yes. I see that coming. The government is also promoting skills development courses. And I think, more than 90% of the students, those who come or those who enroll in any college, the end aim in front of them is a job. Okay, a very few, it will be like, I really want to know about something, knowledge will come first. Let us be clear about this thing, that they do need a job for their livelihood. They want to support their family. They want to really do something for themselves in their life. And I think the traditional way the courses are being conducted needs to be changed now. The set of, we have got arts college, so all the art subject will only be there. Now what the NEP is talking about is, across the streams a student will be able to select any subject, and that is how he or she will develop the skill. Like, for example, if I am into maybe psychology, but at the same time I want computers also, because I want to have a combination of these two. Right now, at present, we are not providing that. But in future, I think this will be the need of the hour. And like in other universities, it's there, it's open. Any student taking any subject, like you have psychology from the arts field, you have statistics from the science field, and computers also. So this combination will be very good for any student. Statistics and psychology does have a section of statistics into it, so they have got some sums and all. Like for languages also, we can always start some foreign language courses, but then they should all be integrated kind of a thing. Like, if I want my students, or if a student also wants to have translation studies, okay, or wants to have into English language is there, but at the same time, if he or she learns French or German language, or maybe any other language, they can enter into this new field also. So for them, taking up necessarily some other subject like perhaps sociology or economics doesn't actually fit into the whole thing. They should concentrate upon only the languages part. Okay, so such kinds of adjustments and the freedom to opt for different subjects across the streams, if we open that up, I think we'll be able to solve majority of the issues. Otherwise, it becomes quite, limited kind of.
The ready-made or the mugging up
It's
thing
traditional.
is
It's traditional, and you इतना ही कर सकते हैं, kind of a thing. That should be really open.
and
And I
we
think,
can see definitely more interdisciplinary courses are
right,
being given from the institute sides as well, and also students are opting for such courses.
right. Absolutely, absolutely.
Ma'am, my next question was going to be: are there any MOU signed with some organizations? But I think you already answered that question, so I think we'll move forward. Ma'am, how are the students at the institute prepared for the interviews and other rounds of the placements, like group discussion or like the skills which are required? And if suppose some students are being rejected at some point of time during this interview process, so how are they being motivated so that they can sit for the next coming companies or organizations, and they do not lose their hope?
Yes, absolutely. Very important question. The first part will be a kind of a cliche, but the second part that you have asked, if somebody fails in that interview, is not being able to do. I'll give you an example again. Some few years back, we had an MOU with a tie-up with TCS Group. That's there in Mihan. So they had their AIP, and under that, 2 years consecutively, the trainer had come over here to us, to our college in 17, 18 and 18, 19 to be precise. And very wonderful trainers were there. They trained more than 60 of our students. but unfortunately a few of them could make to the last round, because we all know that there are many rounds, and aptitude is one, and then they have the TR round, the MR round, all these rounds, the group discussion was the second round, and some of them couldn't make it. So there is a great disappointment written largely on their faces, and we, teachers are just like parents, we start feeling very bad for them. But then we thought, why do we have to only judge them, because this is only one company which has not taken them or given them a chance as of now. So what we did was, when they couldn't get selected in that through that process, we had our own add-on course called as corporate readiness, which I took in 2019-20. It was my department which took the initiative, and we enrolled all those students, those who couldn't make it at that point of time. So they had, they were there with us, and we could tell them what their, the negative side was. Because many times it happens, somebody coming from outside and giving you training, because they don't know the students personally speaking, they are unable to tell them what the lacuna are. But because we knew the students from the first year, we could tell them, here is where you have gone wrong, and they didn't even feel bad about it. Because anybody telling you in front of you that you are not good in this, not in this way, the teachers are,
but the things you should be improving on.
Yes, this is the area that you need to improve upon, and in a very playway kind of a scene, you tell them. They also understand things, so they understood that somewhere the presentation part is what they lacked, or maybe the knowledge portion. I mean, knowledge domain was what they needed to work upon. Getting only maybe 70% of marks is not actually that's academic success. But when somebody asks you something in an interview and you fumble over there, even though you know the answer, it's your lack of confidence perhaps, or maybe that immediately doesn't come to you. So maybe having mock interview sessions, that would help, and all those things we did tell them, and we had these things. So this is how we also have because we were more concerned about those who couldn't get selected. So we had this kind of a thing. Then the pandemic set in, and it was not done by us, but yes, now Bajaj Finserv also has completed one. And as I told you, ICICI Academy for Skills Development has also successfully completed 54 days wala training. AIF is doing it for us. It's for logistics, BFSI, and retail marketing, all these three. Along with that, they do have communication skills wala thing. And the Department of English again has got 3 courses, that's COC, that career oriented courses are there, the certificate, a diploma course and advanced diploma course of communication skills and personality development. So again, they are also doing their bit to prepare the students in that direction, because communication is something I think majority of us lack, and that is where the training comes in. It has to be a very formalized kind of a training. Every day, if you don't spend half an hour at least talking in English, or any language for that matter, you want to learn German language, you have to speak in that language. Otherwise, how will you learn it? Okay.
You will have to go through some of the tough, like you will have to do not some sacrifices in a word, but you will have to work on that if you want something to improve upon.
Right. So वो जबरदस्ती तो हम लोगों ने की है.
But ma'am, like coming from Department of English, the initiative that you have taken to start such programs, and when you know students personally from the first year itself, students are also more comfortable to know कि यार मैम ने बताया तो सही बताया, क्योंकि मैम मुझे 3 साल से जानती हैं.
Exactly.
तो मैं क्या लाइक कर रहा हूँ, मतलब सर ने मुझे काफी सिखाया है, but then the person who I'm like studying from for the past few years knows me in a better way that some of the skills, मतलब subconsciously मैं कुछ गलत कर रहा हूँ और मुझे वो पता भी नहीं चल रहा है.
Right.
So that is what students are more open to accept their the things they need to work upon. So I think that is what pushes students and builds the teacher-student connect as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Ma'am, coming to my last question, are there any suggestions that you would like to give to the current youth and aspiring students?
Yes, I will definitely like to tell them this thing. It won't be a kind of a suggestion, bigger word, okay? But what I feel is we have also had a talk regarding this. There is a lot of information now around us. You just have to put it on your internet and you get that information. The only thing that remains now is self-motivation. You know, if anyone, if you have the curiosity to know something, only that is going to give you success. लेकिन अभी तक जो एटीट्यूड था ना, हम लोग बैठे रहेंगे, टीचर्स, onus is on the teacher will give us notes, the teacher will provide all the material, the teacher will take the efforts to tell us when that examination is, and वो पीछे लग के examination भी लेगी, and only then I will only appear for that examination and I'll get my degree. Now it is not like that. You have to be self-motivated and you have to pursue a particular, maybe a subject teacher or a topic of a subject, possibility that you might not understand it in the first go. Then you have to have the tenacity, you have to have the perseverance to go on. Then number two, what I truly feel is that the focus is changing, only being job oriented. ये हम लोगों ने जो एक दिमाग में बिठा लिया है ना कि I just need a job. I don't want to train myself. I don't want to increase my knowledge as well as my skills, because knowledge plus skills together will land you into a job. Otherwise, you have got so many engineers, you have so many good people done their MBAs and all, but people say they are unemployable. They have got a degree. How can they be unemployable is the question. They are unemployable because they lack the interpersonal skills. So as we are moving into this virtual world, and nowadays we are becoming so mobile centric and laptop centric and all those things, we are forgetting how to adjust with other people. So these interpersonal skills are also what you need to develop. Initially, maybe 20 years back when I was in my college and we had friends, this whole thing was not there. So talking continuously with my friends and that peer interaction actually gave us a great platform. We never faced this issue. But this is one of the challenges which is going to come in future also. What everybody is saying is the next generation is going to live their life on the virtual platform only. So that is another worry point for all of us. So, as far as possible, please do interact without your electronic gadgets around you, and try to adjust. Try to have a good team whichever field you're working into. Knowledge is only one part of it, but you have to acquire these skills is what my humble request to all the students would be. So self-motivation is one, and acquiring skills, and when I say skills, it has to be interpersonal, say leke every skill that I'm talking about.
So ma'am, I think peer learning, the peer learning which we usually speak of is like the soft skills which are required are often neglected. Yes. But one of the important pillars of like getting those soft skills is the peer learning as well. Yes. So I think if the colleges are again starting offline in an offline mode, I think it will be better for the students as well, so that they can improve upon those skills without even knowing that they are working on their skills in some way.
Absolutely. Half of the things will be solved if they come to college and they actually interact with each other. There can be some arguments, there can be some fights, and that's the wonderful part of it, that they learn from, simply to say sorry to the other person. Again, this becomes a big ego issue. If you are only, quite self-centered, if you don't have the ability to reach out to people, again, this becomes a big issue in big corporates also. So this is something which the humility plus knowledge is what this teaching process will teach them. And as you rightly said, without them realizing that they are learning this.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out your time and share your thoughts on our platform, thoughts on education. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for accepting our proposal at such a short notice. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Harsh. Thank you so much to have me.